55 for all us semi-truck drivers. Well, good afternoon, boys and girls. Good afternoon. So, yesterday, let me close my window. So, yesterday we ran into a little snafu. I had a delivery at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Got there at 7. They unloaded me. Got dispatched on a load. Supposed to be ready by 1 o'clock, 1300 hours Pacific Standard Time. I got there around 9:30. Figured, I'll just get there early and, better early than late. And when the trailer was ready, then I'd go. So I sat. At 1 o'clock, they told me there'd be another couple hours. So I said, all right, no problem. That's what happens sometimes. 4:30. By 4:30, they called me and said, okay, your load's ready. Come and get your bills at the shipping office. I said, cool. Walked to go get my bills, get out, stretch my legs a little bit before I got back in the truck, hit the road. And they told me that they canceled the load, that it didn't weigh enough. So I said, okay, so what does that mean? Well, that means that there's no load going out today. So I said, okay. So I called my dispatcher and we talked about it, and it was going to be a long run to Michigan from California, from Ontario. So I thought, it's worth trying something. So he asked me to go talk to them and see if it was going to be ready in the morning, that I could grab it and go and still get a long run in, about 2,500 miles, I think, or something like that. So they said no, they canceled it. It won't be going out Monday, it won't be going on Tuesday. So I was kind of bummed, but you know what, it happens. And sometimes that's it, sometimes it happens. So the positive twist on this is my best friend Don lives him and his wife Betty, they live in Corona, California, which was probably around 9 miles from where I was at. So I was able to go there and park on their street and have dinner with them last night and kind of catch up, and got a good shower in the morning and did a load of laundry. So I ended up getting a load out of Ontario again and headed for North Carolina. Originally I was going to have to relay it in Dallas because I needed to be home by the 25th, but I was able to reschedule that, so I'm going to take this load all the way to North Carolina. So I get over there, it's supposed to load at 1 o'clock. I get over there, sweep out my trailer, back to the dock. They start loading me. It is now going to be 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, and I'm on the road. And the cool thing about this load, and you guys out there driving, sometimes you don't know what it's going to weigh or what it's going to be. So I've got 9,358 pounds in the box. I'm full all the way to the back. I have surgical products in the truck, so it's pretty light. to roll all the way to North Carolina with under 10,000 in the box. Saves me money and fuel, saves wear and tear on my truck, and those of you out there driving, you know light loads are the best loads. So it was it was a bummer yesterday happened, but then it actually today turned out to be really good. So I'm heading to Phoenix, Arizona. Normally I would have went up 15 to the 40 and went across that way, but instead I'm going to go the 10 into Phoenix. There's a CB shop there, big rig CB. I'm going to have a new CB installed in my truck because the CB that I have is a piece of junk, and have some antennas put on it and just kind of give it a little bump, you know. And then I'll jump on 17 and take 17 up to 40 and then head across that way. So, but like I said, it was a good thing. I got to spend some time with my family, and I got to see my cousin the first night, and then I got to spend last night with my best friends, and overall it was really, really good. So the last part of this little thing before I leave town as I'm driving is I was sitting in the truck. I went to the store, I got some supplies because I'm going to be out longer than I thought, and got some supplies, and I was putting my stuff in the truck, and a very, very nice Corona moto cop pulls up and asked me what I was doing, and I told him, well, I'm just getting some stuff put in my truck and getting ready to take off, to go pick up a load and hit the highway. So he asked me what made me what gave me the impression that I could drive my truck on that street. Now, I was about 20 yards from the truck route. Yes, it was a residential neighborhood. There were no signs that said no commercial truck. There was no signs that said you couldn't have a truck on that street. And I looked for the signs. I made sure that I was able to get in, that I was able to go down the street. The street was a double lane street. I parked in front of a vacant lot, didn't block anybody in, didn't block no signs, wasn't parked in front of a fire hydrant. So he begins to question me about it and asked me why I thought I could park there. I told him I didn't see no signs. I told him I looked. I told him I've been here before. I know that I've seen some different types of vehicles parked there. Not necessarily a commercial vehicle, but I've seen some U-Haul trucks parked there. And you know what? And like I said, I didn't see no signs, and I figured it was good. So he told me that the municipal code for Corona was no commercial vehicles were allowed off the truck routes. So I asked him what code that was so I could look it up. He couldn't give me the code number. We discussed it. He originally was talking down on me like I was just some piece of garbage, until I told him that when he's sitting at home at night, sitting at the dinner table having dinner with his family, and they're drinking milk and eating steaks and eating vegetables, I told him, how do you think that stuff gets to your table? It's by truck drivers like me. I said it all very respectfully because, with everything going on right now, shoot, man, you never know. And he tried to argue with me a little bit, and then he proceeded to tell me that he hates it when us truck drivers go in, if we're going to make a right-hand turn and we go into the opposite lane, that sometimes, and when he's in his normal car, he might have to back up to allow the truck to swing out wide enough so they don't hit the curb. That really irritates him, which I told him that was unfortunate. I also told him, look at it from this perspective. When he's going down the freeway and he's splitting lanes and cars cars are moving to the side so he can have a clear shot through. That's just basic common courtesy and looking out for them. And all we ask is people that drive normal cars, four-wheel cars, people that are on motorcycles, people that are out here that are not driving semi-trucks, all we ask is a little bit of courtesy. Give us some room to change lanes. Give us some room to stop. Don't cut us off because there's a space in front of us and you can jam in there. Little courtesy. So he goes to tell me about that laws and this and that, and I explained to him that there are laws. I agree. You can't you're not supposed to cross the WO line and blah 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 blah. And then I told him that in the real world, we have to get our product to the stores so the stores can get it to the people that want it. And sometimes, we have to take wide turns. Sometimes we have to back into spots that are tight. And I told them that I really try hard never to go down a non-truck route because I don't want a ticket. To say that I've never done it would be lying to you. I have went down no truck lanes or no truck roads for just a few seconds to get where I needed to be, and I knew that I was taking a chance of getting a ticket, but sometimes you gotta do get the load there on time. So he basically was going back and forth. So finally I asked him, so what do you want me to do? Was he going to give me a ticket for parking there? What? And basically he was trying to figure out what made me think it was okay for me to come down that road. That was his ultimate goal. What made me think that I could do that is what he wanted to get out of me. Which, okay, whatever, you ain't got nothing better to do. Cool. Then we're sitting there finishing our conversation, he looks across the street and there was a car that was parked about 6 feet away from a fire hydrant. And he goes, well, I'm glad I stopped to talk to you. He goes, because now I'm going to go across the street and give that person a ticket for parking in front of a fire hydrant. And I said, well, that car's not in front of it. That car is about 6 feet away from it. And he goes, well, the law says that they have to be 15 feet away. And I said, seriously, dude? I go, you're going to give that person a ticket? That's probably their house. How about just knocking on the door and seeing if that person's there and saying, hey, you're in violation, move your car 15 feet away from the hydrant, and he said, nope, I'm giving him a ticket. And I was like, okay. I explained to him that I do not have ill feelings towards the police department. I do think that there's some really good cops out there. I do appreciate good cops and being there to help us and protect us and do all those things. And like anything in this industry or anything in this world, there are bad people and people making bad decisions. But I talked to him with respect. I tried to answer all his questions. I did question some of the things he was saying. And by the end of it, I thought to myself, did you really have nothing better to do? So it was kind of a weird day this morning starting off, but like I said, I don't take it personal. Maybe he was just trying to figure out what's going on. Maybe he wanted to see who I was or what I was doing there or whatever. I mean, it's all good. I got nothing to hide. I'm legal. Everything about me is legal. But it was just a really, really bizarre conversation. I mean, I wish I could have recorded it because there was things that he was saying that I was like, that's not the way this is. No. So, but anyway, that's my little thing for this morning. It's Tuesday morning, April 20th, and I'm headed to Arizona, Phoenix, to go get a CB put in. So, I will hit you guys up later on down the road, and hope everybody's having a great first couple of days of their week. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.